Oops.
Right, bit of water.
Yep, get
Clear
that
the
down,
throat.
you.
Good, positive vibes.
That's looking good.
Oh, thanks. I did really try. A bit
saying
clammy
hello.
because I've just had that yogurt. You know, yogurt gets a bit in your throat. Right. Hi, guys. Welcome to Lousy Advice. This is the podcast where we discuss all the lousy advice that we've seen, we've heard, we've received, we've ignored, given to loads of randomers. I'm Holly. I'm the head of the Lousy Digest. So you got to kind of imagine that this is a magazine, right? I'm the editor. I've got a tiny, weeny little intern with me. Would you like to introduce yourself, tiny intern?
Hi, Rory here again. How many times do I need to say this? Not tiny, 6'2", and also soon to be CEO, I think.
What?
Or at least senior intern, hopefully at some point, a little promotion.
Rory kind of acts sometimes as the voice of reason because I could be known to embellish stories, chat a bit of shit. However, he's quite like monotone, straight to the point, not messing about. So we've kind of also got him here as a voice of reason.
Yeah, thank you for that. Less, more. Woo!
So today we're talking about freshers because we think when this goes live, it is going to be about Freshers Week. I think it's around Freshers Week right
Freshers
now.
Week's like mid-September, isn't it?
Yeah, and we're just reminiscing on those good, well, they actually were horrific days for me, but for Rory, he was thriving.
They were a long time ago for you. Are you going to be able to remember? No? Okay.
I'm not even, do you know what it was?
Well,
I had a comeback.
every bit of abuse I gave Holly in these episodes, she doesn't say anything back, which then means it's not going to make the edit because it's like just going to be awkward.
I know, very manipulative.
That's your way of getting around it.
No, do you know what it is? I had a comeback, but it wasn't at all relevant to what you said. My only comeback was about, I was going to make a joke about the fact that you finally lost your virginity when you got to uni, but there wasn't any way of me connecting it. So I just had
Again,
nothing.
isn't true. Fact check already.
Anyway, before we discuss Freshers Week and Rory's time to shine, we're going to have some casual chit-chat.
Okay, right. So we're entering the casual chit-chat section of the show.
We're going hard into casual chit-chat right now.
Welcome to Casual Chit-Chat.
If anyone's new here, basically, we're really trying to, at the start of podcasts, you hear a lot of people are having like casual chit-chat, but I don't really know how to just
I think we were having it though before you then said, let's have some casual chit-chat. We could have
he's
just carried on
ruining it.
talking. We were already in casual chit-chat.
Hopefully one week we will just go straight in and it'll be so casual and you're all going to be so relaxed. But right now it is going to feel a bit clunky and a bit awkward, but just bear with. So anyway, thinking about the week.
Yeah?
What have you been up to, Rory?
I never like to jump straight into the casual chit-chat. I always like to say, well, not always, but what I really want to say this week is I've absolutely been loving the comments that people have been leaving on both like YouTube, Spotify for the podcast. If people could continue, please, 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 to follow or rate the podcast on wherever you get your podcast, we'll really appreciate it. It will mean that we can keep this coming and keep it happening. Otherwise, it's not going to keep happening because
basically, we need it to be reviewed. We need it to do well so that we can then get some brand deals and get some
we can then
cash.
get a sponsor. We'll do anything to get a sponsor. So please, if you could, any support that you've already done, thank you very much. Any support you can keep coming, even more thanks. And then I'll segue into my chit chat, which is Holly did a video last week. Sometimes like when you do an ad, it'll like reach like the audience that isn't your typical followers.
Yeah.
And it had quite a lot of comments in this one that I found very amusing, where they all said, they were like, is that Bonnie Blue? They all thought that Holly was Bonnie Blue. And for those of you who don't know who that is, she's like a adult actor, is that the name?
Yeah.
An adult star. But
she's not someone that I would particularly want to be.
I'd never made the connection, but after people said it, I can't unsee it now.
You're just saying that for the podcast?
No.
You don't actually think that like Bonnie Blue?
You do obviously a bit because there was multiple comments that put it in. These comments all had like hundreds of likes.
I'd like to add, this is what happens, and this is what makes it more embarrassing. The way that I make money is through brand deals. So that is how brand comes to me, like the brand that did
Sounds
this
very
video.
Bonnie Blue thing to say.
And the brand says, we'll pay you X amount to put it in your channel. You're like, yeah. Sometimes they put money behind it so it gets sent out to people that aren't your audience. What is embarrassing is you have to then give your insights and your stats to the brand after the video's gone out. So the brand is going to go back and see that none of the comments about the product that I was trying to sell to people is all just saying, oh, Bonnie Blue, why is Bonnie Blue cooking? What's Bonnie Blue doing with that machine? I'm just mortified. So,
and then that video you did this weekend, I got Morrissey for the first time.
It's because Rory's starting to look older. So
I was like, Morrissey?
It's getting like young footballers.
I was like, are they talking
happened.
young Morrissey or now Morrissey?
It's now Morrissey.
It can't be now Morrissey.
I think you're starting to look a bit weathered and finally you're going up. Because
I think
I
Morrissey was quite good
Coleman.
looking in the day though, because basically on that video, you did it in 0.5, so my hair looked like a huge quiff.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I was getting Morrissey. He's got the eyebrows.
I
didn't mind it, but if it's old Morrissey, I do mind it.
Yeah, well, whatever. You can't have it all, can you? Back to me. So,
yeah. Right, come on then. What's next on the casual chit chat?
So on the casual chit chat, the problem is I don't do anything that's that interesting for me to tell you about. So it's just not going to be pretty like
Leave
that
it to
crazy.
me then. I can keep going.
Well, no, I've got one, but it's just, just bear with. So basically, we've got this situation at the minute. We've got our garden, and we told you last week that this animal keeps digging up the soil and then shitting in it. Anyway, I got this really expensive.
It was 2 weeks ago we spoke about that.
Whatever, same thing. We got this really expensive furniture for the garden because I was like, this is finally going to be the season that we're going to sit in the garden, invite people round, blah, blah, blah. Have I invited anyone round? No. However, got this really nice expensive furniture. I even remembered to get a cover for it. Like, that's how grown up I am. Was so ready to have lovely evenings out in the garden. We've now not only got something that's shitting in the flower bed, we've also got something that now is consistently pissing on this furniture, and I don't know what to do about it.
Yeah.
And I put the cover on there, and every single day it's coming back and it's pissing again and again. There's piss stains now all over it, and it's also walking all over it as well. And I don't really know what we do about that.
Yeah, but can I just rewind 2 weeks? So when I use this as what got my knickers in a twist, and I remember you not being that sympathetic to the situation. Now that it's gone on your furniture, you seem like you're on board.
Yeah. Because that's annoying.
It is annoying. I agree. Okay, I'm glad that you now agree.
So how do you get Fox to stop doing that? It's pissing every single day.
I think
it's pissing me off.
It says that you meant to get male urine
we've talked about this, haven't we?
and piss in the trough,
Well,
I think.
Can you hurry up and just piss all over our garden so we can stop having this situation? It's pissing me off. Anyway, another thing, I had a really relaxing weekend. I didn't have my phone, didn't have social media, was just doing relaxing things, whatever. And I was like, oh my God, I feel so good. Like, I really think that like I'm like finding my rhythm. Like, I know how to enjoy myself now.
Sorry,
like,
are you talking about your social media break for like the 10th episode?
I'm not. I'm talking about something different. I had a break from like doing anything, seeing anyone. I just went and played paddle, but other than that, I was just like chilling. And I was like, oh my God, listen.
You didn't play
This is
paddle.
my story, not yours.
You didn't play.
I know, but I'm talking about a week ago.
Oh, okay.
So just shut up. So basically, all I'm saying is, I'm getting all flustered now because Rory keeps interrupting. You know you're an intern, you can get kicked out.
Sorry.
Basically, I realised I was having this great weekend and I was like, oh my God, I think actually I'm cured. Like, I can be a person, I can do it all. But the only reason that I had a really good weekend is I didn't see anyone. And I'm like, Holly, you're not going to be able to keep this up. That I felt like I was so relaxed with because I didn't have a single plan. So like, what does this mean for me? Does this just mean for the rest of my life, I don't make another plan ever again? Like, what happens there?
I think you probably could just about manage that. Like, just play sport all the time. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah. But like, what do I do with my friends? Do I just say, sorry, I'm not meeting up anymore?
You can just tell them to maybe
over.
kindly listen to the podcast to get their dose of you, and that's that.
Yeah.
And then if they want to ask any questions, they can send them through to the WhatsApp.
Yeah, and see if it comes through.
Yeah, so that's probably the best way to communicate with you going forwards.
So that's really good. I think that's really healthy, actually, that I've decided that I'm just going to cut out all socialising. I think that's just perfect, don't you?
Yeah. Does that mean that we're going to spend more time together, though?
No, no. It's all socialising. I'm not even interested in seeing you.
Okay, fair. Yeah.
What have you been up to recently, Rory?
So recently, as the lousy intern, I took my lovely CEO of the Lousy Digest, Holly, to BBC Studios, where she was appearing on BBC Radio London, which is pretty big time. Holly was very nervous. I wasn't, because I was just like, I'm just going to go take some photos. I don't care. I'm just going to chill and like maybe half listen in. Get there. Gabby Roslin, the presenter that's hosting the show, is like, actually, why don't you come on too? I'm like, what? No, I'm here to stay to take some photos. She's like, no, sit here. Mic in front of me. Suddenly I was getting broadcast to 23 million people live. Okay, but it wasn't that many people. I don't know how many listeners there were.
I think it was more.
Yeah, 63 million people live. I had this microphone in front of me and we were just on air.
I know.
There wasn't any prep. There wasn't like, right, this is what you can and can't say. It was just straight in.
She was just like, hi, how are you? She was making some nice chat. And then suddenly she was like, okay, 1 second, volume up, on air. And me and Roy were just being so frigid. We were both like absolutely silent, only speaking when being spoken to. And then she was asking us questions about things. And I just thought, I haven't got a single thought going on right now. I'm just scared.
Yeah, she was lovely, which made it like a lot easier than it would have been.
She made you slut drop.
Yeah, and then halfway through I was doing Zumba. She got me on the Zumba. I was like dancing around.
And they said to Rory, do you want any songs played? And he said Man Eater.
Yeah, I requested Man Eater, Nelly Furtado, and she put it on, which was good. So it was a nerve-wracking experience. I think if I'd been told the day before that I was going on there, I would have been really nervous. Thankfully, I was just told when I got there, and I was like, but I haven't really got time to be nervous. It got thrown in there, so
Yeah, so that's it now. We're both really big time. So if you want to speak to us, make sure you go through our management. The end, really.
Yeah.
Right, are we done with casual chit-chat yet? I'm bored.
Yeah, go on then.
You ready? Am I right to go?
are we
Sorry,
doing?
when I say are you ready, I don't mean can you hurry up and get ready? I
Yeah.
mean,
No, I never
should I start? Oh, okay, good. I suddenly
Right,
worried.
for me to ever think it's
Okay,
that, don't
good,
worry.
good. I mean, I don't start
You're
talking, you'd be like,
quite
wait.
sweet. I always feel sorry for you. It's your podcast, mate.
That is awful. I actually feel sorry for you.
So, welcome back, listeners and viewers, to this week's instalment of Don't Get Your Knickers in a Twist.
Woohoo! So basically, for anyone that's new and hasn't seen this segment before, Knickers in a Twist is where Rory has built this massive device where we can twist some knickers and we talk about something that's really got on our wick. Do you know what I mean? And then we have it on a scale. So like, were your knickers twisted 7 out of 10, 4 out of 10? And yeah, Rory, I hope you're watching. If you aren't watching, go and have a look on one that is watching, because we've not got these big pants for nothing, have we? Do you know what I mean? Were they expensive?
These were, yeah. So we've got 2 new mega pants. The watchers and listeners to the first episode would have seen the first instalment, which they weren't actually that big in comparison to the ones we got these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, should we get into it?
Yeah, let's go.
So thank you very much for explaining my segment. You've done probably about 5 out of 10 job.
Thank you.
Right, my turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
go.
ask me then.
No, your turn.
Right,
What's got
Rory-
your knickers in a twist
Hang
this
on.
week?
Sorry, we're not syncing up right now. Rory, what's
Yeah.
got your knickers in the twist this week?
I was asking you.
Okay, ask me then.
Okay, no, it's fine. I'll go.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to go onto the theme of the show, and I'm talking freshers.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that got my knickers in a twist most then, and still gets my knickers in a twist, is people not doing their washing up.
Oh my God, you're so boring. When are you going to bring some drama to this section? You're
When's-
definitely getting clipped out of this again.
No, this is going to make it. This is good. So you say, people would cook stuff. People use your pots, your pans,
Yeah.
cook it. You'd be like, okay, right, I'm going to go and cook something. Get to the kitchen. It's just on the side, like soaking. Once you've cooked something, before you eat, you should wash it up and put it away. We had a rule in our house in second year, whereas if anyone left anything on the side, we put it in their bed. So anyone left
What?
any dirty washing on the side, any pots, pans, we'd go and put it in their bed.
That's
And then that
horrible.
quickly stopped people doing it. So if anyone, this is maybe a bit of advice before we get onto the freshest bit, but I would advise implementing that rule in your halls, in your flats, wherever.
Your family home.
Yeah, or at home. Anyone leaves any dirty washing on the side, pick it up, put it in the bed, and they won't do
But
it
I
again.
imagine all your beds were grim anyway, because how often were you cleaning your bed sheets?
Yeah, but
Actually,
that's-
even when I met
that's
you, your
beside
bed
the
sheets
point,
were
though. Yeah.
horrific. As a 25-year-old, you're still using your uni bed sheets.
Yeah, but when you get like a chicken like tandoori added to it, like that's a few days old, it just makes it a bit unbearable. So
Maybe it's actually a good thing, so it would have got you to wash your bedding.
anyway, back to me. So knickers in a twist. That used to get my knickers in a twist. Up until fairly recently, it still got my knickers in a twist a lot because Holly wasn't the best at washing up. So we've recently taken a split of the house jobs where I do all the cooking and washing up. So
And
nowadays,
I do all
it
the
doesn't-
washing and all the tidying, because he always misses off the bits that I do. I'm also keeping the house afloat.
This is not true. Anyway,
is.
back to the twisting. Let's get twisting. Used to get my knickers in a twist a lot, this one. Nowadays, actually not that much because I've got it under control and I've got my mechanisms
Can you just get on with it? 'Cause you're gonna get
So this
clipped
is actually this is like a 2 these days. So it's just like a little 1, 2. And then the people listening haven't missed out on too much there because I've only twisted it twice.
Right, okay, back to me. So, what's got my knickers in a twist this week? My thing at the minute that is getting my knickers in a twist is the relentlessness of WhatsApp, right? Because it builds up all these different people being like, hey, do you want to do this? Or, hi, have you seen this? Or like, hey, can we book this in? You get all of this. And then finally you're like, do you know what? I need to get back to everyone. So then you write to everyone like, hi, so sorry. Hey, babe, didn't see this, blah, blah. You send all these messages and then you put your phone down. You're like, I'm done. But the problem is they all come back straight away. It's a never ending task. They're like flies. You keep trying to swat them off and they just come straight back again. And I don't understand what happens. Are we just all going to WhatsApp until we drop dead? When does this stop? What is the solution to this? Does anyone else feel like this? Or am I just actually losing my mind?
I think what Elton John's done is he doesn't have, I don't think he has a mobile.
It's Ed Sheeran. not
No, Elton John. Elton John just has a landline. So to contact Elton John, you need to ring his landline. He doesn't have any of these. So that's probably what you have to do.
That's what Ed Sheeran, he only talks to people via email. And I feel like I'd be quite excited to have had an email coming through. Do you know what I mean?
No, you wouldn't. You hate emails. I do all your emails.
Yeah, because then Rory could check them all for me.
Chris,
so I don't have to go through them.
Alex, has Holly ever sent you an email?
Yes, one. She said, woohoo.
Oh
And
yeah,
I said yeehaw.
she said yeehaw.
I said woohoo yeehaw. Rory was like, you didn't actually
You didn't
answer
actually
any of
respond
the
to his
questions.
question.
Yeah. But anyway, so I'm actually considering getting a landline so that I can talk to people through that medium only, because WhatsApp to me, it just feels like another job. And also, I just can never think of what to say or how to say it, or, if I use enough exclamation marks, if I use enough emojis. Do you know what I mean? So that's it. I think I'm going to get a landline. So that's getting my knickers in a twist, 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Okay, listeners.
I just think if I reply to you on WhatsApp, just give me a couple of hours off. Like, why are you coming straight back to me? Do you know what I mean? It's too much. You're obsessed with me.
Can you let me start twisting, please?
Yeah.
Right, we're going to start twisting the pants. We're doing a 7 out of 10, which is 7 rotations. Actually, it's more than 7 rotations. 7 clicks of the drill. Listeners, listen in. I'm going to put you real close to the drill this time. Watchers, just watch on.
Oh, it's like ASMR. Do some whispering to them as well.
I hate ASMR. Something like that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my God.
That's what my pants look like when you keep WhatsApping
So
me.
Holly's knickers are right up there.
Yeah. Nice. Right.
Thank you very much for coming to this week's Don't Get Your Knickers in a Twist. It's my outro, not
No,
yours.
I've decided I'm joining in on it. I want more airtime.
Gosh, that's advice given. We should start charging for this advice.
We seriously
Right.
should. We'll
There's
put a
some-
few more ads in.
There's some
Not that we can. We've already got so many. So this segment is Lousy Advice of the Week. So we're going to talk about some things we've seen about freshers that's come up. Sorry, I'm reading all your bits out. I'm just
fine.
taking
You go.
charge.
No, you go. It's your show.
None of yours.
It doesn't look like it. Not looking at that billboard.
Yeah, well, you got to be more interesting than you can make it onto the big board. What's a lousy piece of Freshers Week advice that you've seen that you're debunking?
So I wrote some ideas down before the show. I quite often do this. I write down some bullet points just like quickly, and then I'll get here and I'm like, these are all so boring and they're not going to work.
Just choose one and put us all out of our
The
misery.
first one's boring. Okay, I'll start on the middle one and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Right, so what I think is lousy advice that some people, when I was in halls, would say they'd done was to not bother doing any washing of clothes while they're at uni, and was to instead just like save them up and take them back to your parents and wash it.
Yeah.
Everyone who did that, rooms absolutely stunk of like, they smelled of like BO and proper, like they were grim.
Yeah.
So I just think, if anyone tells you to do that, just learn. It's so easy just to put some clothes in a washing machine and press go.
You're so rude on every episode. The one about morning routines, you're like, just stop snoozing and get up. This one, you're like, just do your washing.
I'm just telling people to do their own washing.
Yeah, but we're just demanding
The reason
things.
that Holly's defending this is because she does exactly this. Even now, quite often she'll take washing to her parents' house and wash it there. Get it washed there, sorry. Did you do what I just said in first year at uni? Did you take washing home for your
I didn't do a
parents?
single wash at uni.
Oh, there we go. Shock
because
horror.
you needed coins. I didn't have coins.
What do you mean?
I
But you
purely
said you
had
had
notes.
no money.
No, I had too much money. It was
Oh, so
purely
you didn't
notes.
deal with coins.
No, I didn't know. That's a joke. Before anyone clips me. No, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the concept of like having to sit there and just watch it go round and round. I was like, I haven't got time for that. And also, can I add?
You didn't have to sit there. You put it in and it tells you how long it's going to
People
take.
were stealing people's stuff.
No, they weren't.
I'm sure there was a rumour going around they were. I was just being
Yeah,
safe.
but you didn't know that. How
I
can
did.
you say that? Because you didn't do any washing.
Well, anyway, and I'll get into this as the episode goes on, but I went home every weekend, if not more, when I actually think I stayed the night, maybe like under 14 times in Freshers
Holly
Week.
is
So I was always at
severely
home.
underqualified for this. Like we weren't qualified for the wedding episode really, but this one Holly's like really underqualified for.
But basically, then I kind of count second year as my like actual like freshers time. That's when I was really like going balls to the wall. But still, I went home every weekend. So obviously, I take my washing home. Like, why on earth would I do it there? Do you know what I mean? Unless it was urgent, like I had a leotard that I needed to put on that night.
You just
So I
need
was
to
like,
grow
everyone's gonna
up.
love it. I put that
just
on the wash.
learn to do washing. You're gonna have to learn it at some point.
No, because I was too busy studying. I didn't have time.
It's easier
Also,
just to
I
put
had
it
to
in
have
a
a
machine
job.
and do it.
I
Then
had-
take it like that's so long. Taking it all the way home, getting your parents to do it, then taking it all the way back.
I think it's because I had a job at uni, but Rory didn't. So like, I was like busy grinding, so I didn't have time to do
I was
my
busy
washing.
studying.
I just always think this is what they say smart people do. Like smart people know how to like minimize the amount they have to do. Minimum input, maximum output. That's what you want. Do you know what I mean? So if you can get someone to do your washing, just get them to do it. That's my advice.
What? Where are you going with that? Why?
don't
Also,
know.
why are you laughing so much at that?
This is so shit. I'm just a.
You
I'm
find
a
yourself
taker.
hilarious.
No, I'm not finding. I'm just. Sometimes I hear my own words and thoughts, and I just think my brain is going, "Shut up," but my mouth is still going, and I just can't believe it. Anyway, back to me. What's my most lousy piece of Freshers Week advice I've ever seen? This is a personal experience, is to choose your uni based on your current boyfriend. I decided that basically I had a boyfriend at the time when I was 18. Sorry, I keep
A
bringing up my
single
former
episode
lovers.
of just like, not like one past lover, as you call them.
But I do also think that these people build out your story and they're all quite entertaining. So anyway, this particular one, he didn't go to uni, so he stayed in like our hometown, but I was going to uni. And he did quite like to cheat on me. And I kind of thought the further away I am, the more chance he gets to do it. So I thought, let's minimize the risk of it happening. So the only unis that I chose were all within like an hour parameter. But I actually think still quite a lot.
Perimeter.
The same thing. Circumference. I still think some people you'll be with like your childhood boyfriend, and you'll be like, oh, we can't be too far away. But then what you can do when they then dump you 6 months later. Do you know what I mean? Because now you're at a poo uni that you didn't want to go to, and you're stuck with a boyfriend that's only an hour away that doesn't want to be your boyfriend anymore. Do you know what I mean? So that's my first piece of advice.
No, I'd go further than that.
What?
On that advice. I'd say just break up with them before going to uni.
Yeah, I did want to say that, but I didn't want to be harsh.
Don't just base, obviously you're not going to base where you're going to uni on your relationship.
That's
at
not always
age
obvious.
18.
I was doing that.
Obviously you're not doing that. Secondly, obviously, like, why would you rock up to uni with a girlfriend or a boyfriend?
Partner.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean why? But what if you're in love? Then what do you do?
You're not going to be 18.
I was.
No one cares.
Do you not think?
No.
Yeah, obviously
He obviously didn't care. He got it. You didn't get it. He got it. It was just a bit of a joke relationship, whereas you actually thought it was going somewhere.
Yeah, no, that is fair. But if you're out there...
If you're 18 and you're in a relationship, it's not going to last. Just sack it off and go single.
You can't say that.
It's not going to.
What? It might do.
Like we said, so the chance of staying together after getting married is what, like 50-50?
Yeah.
The chance of staying with someone for the rest of your life that you're with from the age of 18,
Yeah.
not going to happen.
Okay, but if it has happened for you, we are happy for you, and that is lovely. That's what we're going to say. It's just a disclaimer.
Actually, it did happen to my older sister. But
Yeah, exactly. What are you saying about her?
yeah, other than that, other than my
Other than
older
your sister?
Yeah. You've
What
got
about
no
your
hope.
younger sister
That
as
was a
well?
different generation.
Your
though.
younger
She's
sister
older.
was
It was different back then. Now no one stayed together.
Your younger sister's also with her boyfriend from when she was 18.
Yeah, okay. If you're in my family, it doesn't count. Other people, you've got no hope.
Okay. That's very kind. So anyway, that was my only piece of advice, is choosing a uni based on your boyfriend.
I had 3 advice and you only had 1.
Yeah, but yours were all so boring. These were
Can I
Rory's.
just quickly list them off?
Just list them off because they're so dull.
No, they're not actually. The first one was people might advise you to like spend a lot of time studying in first year. Don't, because first year is going to be really easy, not going to take much effort, and it's unlikely to count to your final grades. It really doesn't matter. Just get out there and have fun. That's number 1.
Who was actually studying in first year?
There was people that were trying
Yeah,
quite
but
hard.
you went to a bit of a, loser uni, didn't
It's a
you?
loser uni.
Everyone was trying quite hard there.
I did get a first in the first year. Then third point.
You didn't get any girls though, so there was something that you had to give up. But you did lose your virginity, which was sweet.
Can we stop making? We can't just make these things up. Come on. Can you retract that?
No.
Okay. Anyway,
He got
I think
his
the amount
first,
of,
he said,
the amount
"I'm
of
good to
nibbing
go."
and being defensive here, people actually are going to think that's true. So I'm going to.
He waited until he knew he
Take a
got his
step back.
first because he didn't want to get distracted by this new thing he's discovered.
Anyway, my final point was, again, sorry to bring like boring financial advice to the episode, but it's don't be silly with that loan. You're going to get a loan land in your account. Don't spend it all at once. I had friends that did this. One of my friends did that, like he'd spend it within like the first month, and then you've just literally got no money for the next 2 months. You don't want to be that guy. So just make sure you show a bit of financial responsibility and look after your money.
Okay,
And
Dad.
count your pennies and your pounds will count themselves.
Yeah.
I want someone to do a tracker in the comments of like how many ex people you've mentioned.
I just think they're the entertaining stories though, aren't they? Like now I'm just boring and engaged, so I'm just giving you some fire. Should we have a general discussion?
Which is
about
question
freshers?
led. Yeah, okay.
Particularly if it's question led, yeah. Okay, right. So basically, we're going to start off by discussing what our first week of Freshers Week looked like, because I think the contrast might be quite entertaining to you all. So,
week.
Rory, do you want to...
I can't do the whole week.
Well, you don't take these things literally. I don't want like Monday to Sunday what you're up
I can't
to. Just
remember
tell
it
us-
specifically.
You've
I can
written
remember.
it down.
I haven't written it down.
You have. You've written down. Rory
Oh, I
started
have.
the
Oh,
first
okay.
week.
Sorry, I did that a while ago. So I
Okay.
get there on the Friday, Whereas most people arrive on the Saturday. I was so excited to go. Like I was unbelievably excited to get there.
What would you describe?
Okay, so this is what I was looking like. Well, so the viewers can see, but for the listeners, I turned up. I used to have like quite short back and sides, like even shorter than I have at the moment, shaved quite high up, and then like very gelled, like even hairsprayed hair.
Hairsprayed?
Yeah, it was like rock hard. I was actually pretty beefy back then. So to try and show off the beefiness, I'd wear like shirts that were like quite tight on the bicep. Anyway, it was a bit of an embarrassing look.
Yeah.
And I think people were quite scared of me because like most of the people I was like rocking up, like, you know, you got all these people that hadn't grown up in Stoke-on-Trent. They'd grown up in the home counties.
Oh yeah, Rory was really roughing it. Poor boy. He had a hard life.
Yeah, so they hadn't grown up in Stoke. They'd grown up in the home counties and they hadn't met someone like me before. And they were all a bit, in hindsight, these people said they were a bit scared of me. Anyway, I rock up. I get there the day before. I'm really excited. So yeah, get there. But none of my flatmates had arrived that day. They were all coming the next day. So I was in this flat by myself.
Is that because your parents wanted to get rid of you? Like, why were you going the day before everyone?
I just wanted to get there for the Friday.
Did you?
Yeah, I wanted to get in amongst it.
Oh right, that is so weird.
So then I go and find some like pre-drinks that's happening like in a different flat somewhere. I go out with these people. My mistake was I didn't get any of their phone numbers or contact details. I then lost them on the way out. So then I ended up at what was Oceana, I think now called Prism.
On your own?
Completely by myself in this queue. I was like, well, I'm out now. I might as well just go out. So I just got chatted to these two blokes that are probably, I don't know, at the time they seemed quite old, but they're probably like mid-30s. One of them that day had just flown back from Tenerife because he was meant to get married that day and he'd sacked it off. So he'd flown back and come back to Leeds to go on a night out with his mate at Oceana. So I just ended up going for a night out with these two blokes who obviously probably not the nicest men in hindsight. Yeah, had a good night out and then went back and then, yeah, that was it. And then wake up the next day, my flatmates arrive, meet them, get to know them. Like, yeah, nice. I think, yeah, basically freshest week, I probably went out every night. Yeah, legend. Absolute legend.
Yeah. Did you do any snogging?
Allegedly.
Did you?
I don't know.
I feel like when you're in the freshest year of uni, like you'd be like, oh, how many people did you snog tonight? You'd be like 8. And you'd be like, oh, I did 10.
10? I definitely didn't snog 10 in a
I
night.
didn't because I was scared of germs. So I couldn't fully commit to it. But I feel like people, that would be the goal, wouldn't it? Because you then go through the Facebook albums and you'd be like, oh, there's me snogging number 5. There's number 7. Were you kind of one of those people that like when the lights came on, you'd be kind of like scouring out, like must find somebody to go home with?
No,
like
wait,
that.
why are you trying to turn me into some sort of predator? Is that like the MO of this episode?
No, that's bad. No.
So in summary, go out every night, legend, join the rugby society, which was like the best thing I ever did. Meet a lot of people that I'm still best friends with now through that.
Did you get homesick?
No.
Did you drink your own piss?
Pardon? Right, next question.
Come on. Did you drink your own piss?
No.
You did.
I can't have done. No, I
Out
wouldn't
of
have
a
done that.
shoe,
I wouldn't have
didn't
done that. No, that is completely made up. I'm sorry.
I've heard that story.
Ollie's made that up. I did not
Okay,
drink my own
fine.
piss, especially not on a
Allegedly.
shoe.
So my freshest week was a little bit different to Rory's. So obviously the morning I woke up knowing I was being sent off to uni, I obviously wailed in my bed at home. I was like, I can't believe this is happening. I was acting like I was being sent off to like a boarding school at the age of 3. And then my parents dropped me off. We start unpacking my room. I'm still sobbing. Like my eyes are cloudy as I'm like putting
What were
these
you
different
crying about?
ornaments.
Which bit?
I don't even know. Just the whole concept was too
What,
much.
that you were leaving home?
That I was leaving home, that I was stuck in this weird room that I didn't know, that there was all these weird people in my flat. Like the whole thing was bad. And because my boyfriend was back at home being like, I don't know if I can do this with you being so far away. And I was like, babe, I'm the closest I can possibly be with my grades. Shut up. So luckily this girl, my best friend Liv, we both live near each other back at home, but like we had different friendship groups. She ended up being in my hall, so we asked me put both in the same flat. So our like
That is mental.
Why?
That you asked to be put in a flat with someone from home.
Yeah.
That is that's the opposite of what you're trying to get out of freshers. Freshers, you're trying to get in there, you're trying to meet as many people as you can from different walks of life. You're like, okay, well, look, I've grown up in Surrey. I only want to talk to people from Surrey. And if they don't
such
talk
an
like
arse.
me, I'm not interested. I'm going to cry to my parents because everyone here doesn't sound like me.
No, I was very anxious. I wasn't like Rory, who is, as we say in every episode, Rory is just having a good time wherever he is. Basically, if I had Rory's brain and everything was just fine, then I would be able to do all these things, but I do not have that brain. So I just needed a little taste of home with me. And it actually ended up in that year, even though I only stayed at uni maybe like 15 nights in total, I think I stayed 2 of them in my own bed. Every other night that I stayed there, I stayed in Liv's bed. I was not staying in a bed on my own. I've actually never really ever in my life slept in a bed on my own. I just don't agree with that. There's no need for me to be on my own.
So much better. You get such a better night's sleep.
No, you don't. I just like to have my foot touching someone else's foot. And it's not like close. It's just like slightly touching, like little toe to little toe. That's just what I need. And then I'm good to go. Anyway, back to Freshers Week. So my parents dropped me off. I'm sat on my bed and Liv, my friend, always says that all she could hear through the wall was me saying, "You can't leave me here." And my parents being like, "We're going to have to." So my parents leave. I'm wailing. And then everyone's getting ready for this night out. And I said to my friend Liv, I was like, "I can't go out. I don't want to go out." And luckily Liv was like, "I don't want to go out either." Oh, another key thing I've missed off in this story is that my boyfriend then, my childhood boyfriend, was best friends with her childhood boyfriend. And both of our boyfriends did not like us. And me and Liv like loved each other. So she didn't want to go out either because we were both like, we've got boyfriends. We don't need to go out. We're not interested. And I remember specifically my mum had packed me a little surprise in my room and she'd got these sock puppets where you can like sew on some eyes and a mouth and some bobbles. And so we spent the first night of Freshers making these sock puppets.
That is so tragic.
In Liv's bed. Then night 2 came along.
Do you
We were
regret
like,
this in hindsight? You like, I wish I actually did something. Are you happy you were in a bed with a sock puppet?
I actually think now I know myself, I was too mentally young to be at uni yet. If I'd waited a couple of years, because when I got to my second year and I really had my freshers year, I was absolutely, like I said, going balls to the wall. I was being absolutely crazy. Everyone was loving it. I was loving it. Like that's when I had my freshers. I think at 18, I was just too young. I was not ready. And it was too much change. I didn't know I had ADHD, didn't know I had autism. Like it was all too much. So yeah. But yeah, the next night me and Liv decided to make chocolate strawberries. So we did that. And that was then we went home because then we only stayed for like 3 nights. Then we were like, okay, it's the weekend now. Bye everyone. So yeah, that was my Freshers Week. I think I tried to go out one night. I was there for about half an hour and then I was like, I need to go now. Goodbye. I'd had some like barefoot wine and then I just had a panic attack.
Did your boyfriend come up and visit you like during this Freshers Week or was he leaving you to it?
Obviously not. This boyfriend was desperately trying to get rid of me, but I was just like, again, I was like a fly that just you couldn't swat out the room. I was like, no, babe, this is still happening. He did come to visit me about 3 months down the line, but I also, if anyone has seen me, knows me before, I've got a phobia of sick, right? Hate sick. Everyone knows that, particularly the boyfriend that I've been with for 2 years. He comes to visit. I've got one other friend, okay? So I've got my friend Liv and I've got my friend Xavier. My boyfriend at the time decided that he didn't like that I had a boyfriend, went for him, then came back to our halls and then decided to throw up.
You just said went for him, but I'm sure the people listening didn't quite know what you meant.
Well, I think I've got to say allegedly because I don't know if he could hear this.
Okay.
I don't think he actually threw a punch. I think I'm embellishing. But he was basically trying to square up to this Xavier. And this Xavier was like, what the hell's going on? I don't even fancy your girlfriend because she's just panicking the whole time. And then, then my boyfriend then had to stay in Liv's room with her and her boyfriend because he was throwing up. And then he went home the next day. So I wasn't really getting that much out of it.
So back to the advice I was saying earlier, it sounds like you should just sack off boyfriend.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Or your boyfriend, girlfriend before you get to uni.
Just sack them off. So that was my first week of uni. And then I had this horrible my housemates were all quite odd. That like me and Liv didn't really get on with any of them. And one of them,
sorry.
He kept, shut up, that was not the reason. One of them kept, you're making me nib, the same that you're nibbing about the virginity story.
Well, look, 2 can play that game. So.
Anyway, one of the housemates, and I look back, obviously just fancied me. But he would keep eating all my food and it was really winding me up. And I was like, can you stop eating my food? And he was like, no. So then I put a big sign. I was such a loser. I put a big oversized sticky note on the door being like house rules. And I was like, eat your own food, do this, do that. God. Obviously he just ignored that. And then I think I got really pissed off and I wouldn't do this again. I know this is bad, but I was absolutely livid and homesick and sad. So really, you just got to think of what I was going through when I tell you what I did. But basically, because he kept eating my food and it was pissing me off.
Did you do a poo?
I took stuff out of the bin and I put it on his level of the fridge. over his food, which is really bad.
You what? You took stuff out of the bin and put it in the fridge?
Yeah, on his
Oh.
level of the fridge.
Like
And I
what?
don't know why I did that. Someone told me to do that and that would stop him from doing
It's
it.
disgusting.
I know. They were like, you need to show some
What are you
dominance.
like?
I don't know why I did that. I'm just easily led. So I did
Yeah.
it.
What did
I
he do
can't believe I
back?
did that. So what he did back is I am quite messy. I had all my clothes, all my dirty pants, everything just flung around my room because I was never in my room because I was always in Liv's room. So that room was just a dumping ground for festering pants and clothes. Anyway, what he did, so I forgot to lock my door, is he went into my room. He got all my like dirty washing. I just remember the pants, the amount of Primark thongs is still like haunts me to this day.
See, if you'd washed it yourself.
I know. He piled it all onto my desk chair. He wheeled it out of our like dorm into the main corridor with everyone that would be going to their rooms, and he flung it all. And I didn't know this for the whole day because I was at uni, and I came back and I had to pick up my dirty Primark thongs one by one.
Oh dear, I bet
So,
there's
yeah.
some skids as well.
There's some what?
Skids.
Shut up, Rory. There was no
I
skids.
didn't know that happened. That's a new story
I
to
never
me.
told you that.
No. That
That wasn't
sounds fair
nice.
enough though. So if you've put
No,
rubbish in the fridge.
I didn't put
I
like
think-
bad rubbish. I'd put like, it was like Skips wrappers. I wouldn't have put anything that was
Hmm.
really bad in there.
Can we get this guy on maybe next episode? I'd like to see you two
He actually is really
make
nice.
friends.
No, he
he?
is actually really nice.
Oh,
We're
you-
both just young and annoying each other. So that's
right.
the end. So yeah, I think you just go straight in and test out the fart and see what people's reactions are. Don't you
Okay,
think?
so that's the litmus test.
That would make
You do
it
the
quicker.
fart,
Just
and
do a
then-
big fart
Yeah,
and just see what people are doing around
Yeah,
it.
just-
If they're
I
like,
think-
yes, do another one, you're like, yeah, fine.
yeah, you're being yourself. Aren't
If
you?
they're like proper sniffing it in, you might be a bit like, oh, I'm not too sure.
One of my friends did a poo in our washing up bowl, I stupidly watched him do it and kind of egged him on.
You're joking.
And then-
While he was squeezing
Sorry, you
it
just
out.
reminded me with you just getting the stuff out of the bin, and then he like chucks the poo out of the window, but then we just leave the washing up bowl in the sink, and then the next morning, Tony, one of my flatmates, he comes in and does his washing in this bowl the next morning without knowing that it had a poo in it.
Sorry, your friend has got his arse over the washing up bowl.
Yeah.
And he's trying to curl one out.
Yeah.
And you're stood there just saying,
Well, we
come
was
on,
like, oh,
get
it's
it
funny.
out.
Like,
Why
we
is
can
that
get-
funny?
I don't know. We just like, we can get a new one. I don't know. Sorry, that wasn't really relevant.
You just
it
needed
came
to
to
get
my
that out
brain.
there
I
that he
just
squeezed
hadn't
one out.
Forgotten that had happened.
If anyone's scared about freshers, I didn't see any poo
Yes.
or piss. Rory
Yeah,
just
there's going
seemed
to be a
to
lot of
attract
people
all those
listening to
things.
this that are like a bit nervous about going. Like what we've just said, like you can very easily avoid.
You can also, you don't need to go out. Like Liv is still my best friend forever. And as much as like I do regret not going out that first week a bit, but like I just wasn't ready in that first year. And also I'd like to add, I was at uni for 5 years trying to do a 3-year course and I've still kind of turned out fine. So like it might even be that you try that first year and it doesn't really work and then you go home, do a year out and try again. Like, you know, I genuinely just was not ready then. So if you're always like, oh, but everyone else is ready. Like Rory was like loving it. He was like, bye parents, see ya. Whereas
Whoa.
I was like holding mum and dad's hands, like you can't leave me here. So like, you know, everyone's different.
Yeah, I think me and Holly are like we're opposite ends of the spectrum. You're going to meet people that don't really want to be there, people that really want to be there. You just do you.
However, let me tell you about my second year because this is kind of freshers because it was my freshers.
Can't we save that for the second year episode?
But can I just briefly say, because I feel like I want to tell you my freshers year experience because I did actually have one. It was just later.
Okay.
I'll summarise it very quickly. So second year, basically I got dumped by that boyfriend. Hurrah. And then I was like, I'm so sad and anxious. I might as well be sad and anxious at uni. And I went to this club and suddenly I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. Everyone here fancies me because I was like fresh meat to some extent. Like everyone like had already got with each other, right? Because they'd all been there the year before, but I hadn't really been there. Suddenly it didn't matter what at all I looked like. Everyone was just like, oh my God, who's this new girl? So I was just loving the attention. And I said to my parents, I don't think I'm going to be able to stay. And they're like, you will. So I reinvented myself. My mum and dad were so excited that I said I would stay up there. They sent me £100. And I remember
What?
going to Topshop, getting these tiny little sequin hot pants, little bra, push-up bra from Primark and some Converse and going out and shaking it. And everyone wanted a slice. And I was like, this is the best day
Sorry, you
ever.
did not need to squeeze that story in. That had no relevance
did.
to freshers whatsoever. That was just you showing off.
Anyway, then back on that story. So this is still the freshers week of my second freshers week. I had this car and it was my black KA and I loved it. And it had YOLO stuck on the back. So we called it the YOLO mobile because we were just YOLOing hard.
But you had a sticker that said YOLO.
Yeah. And then it had you only live once written out underneath it just in case there was anyone that didn't quite get it. Do you know what I mean? Pretty cool. So then basically what we used to do, me and my friends.
You're really
is
not
we
helping your character in this episode. You're like switching between like absolute tragic embarrassment that like is crying, going away for a weekend, to someone showing off that everyone fancies them in a club, to then going about the YOLO mobile.
Yeah.
Like, all three characters aren't ones that people were particularly going to be that keen on.
No, honestly, I was sick back then. Like, honestly, I can't explain how much everyone wanted a slice. So anyway, because everyone wanted a slice, but I was quite nervous about this because I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'd kind of get with the boy and they'd be like, oh, like, shall I come back with you? And I was a bit like, whoa, like, absolutely not. I don't understand this situation. No. But I remember what I would do is I'd say to them, well, you can come back to mine and play on the Wii, because I didn't know I was autistic then, but I knew that I couldn't socialise very well. So I made sure I had my PlayStation 2 with, what's that game called? Is it Buzz? The quiz game. Yeah. And I had a Wii, because I thought, well, I can communicate in the language of gaming. So I remember this, I can remember it so specifically, this boy being like, oh, I want to go back with you. And I was like, you can come back with me, but nothing's going to happen. We're just going to play on the Wii. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. I remember so specifically him coming back and me like getting the Wii out. And he was like, oh, I thought that was like a joke. And I was like, no. And I like set up the, he was like, to go to the toilet. I was setting up the Mario Kart. And then he came out and he's like, oh, sorry, like my friends are locked out. I'm going to have to go. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay.
That must be a bit of a test you do, because I remember I had that same treatment. I think it was on our second day.
Oh my God,
Holly
yes.
invited me round. She was like, we're going to have a Wii night. So I came round and played on the Wii with you all night.
Yeah, because some people think it's like going to lead to something. I'm like, no, it's pure Wii.
Yeah, it was literally just straight Wii.
But then me and my friends got the swing of it a bit later on, and we're like, okay, maybe like someone can stay round, but like you'd still like sleep in your jeans to be like, nothing's happening. Because you're just trying to like create some allure. A bit, I obviously didn't really work, but I just can remember so specifically, like my key memory of this year is like me in the YOLO mobile. And then it was like it was a bus service. So you'd have like my friends in there and the boys that they'd brought back. And then like in the morning we do a drop off to everyone back to their houses. And we used to just like, we do like a collection service as well and pick everyone up. And I just love that. That is real girl bonding. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, real girl bonding. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyway, that's the end. I'll hold off for the rest of my... I just honestly completely reinvented myself. It was just crazy.
Okay, nice. So that was a good bit of general discussion, which was question-led.
Yeah.
Although it wasn't that much question. It was mainly you just bleating on about your uni experience.
Okay, now we've got Don't Take My Advice. This is where we get a random person on our wheel and we give them a question that you've submitted to us and they give an answer.
And could you just make sure you say thank you very much for all the questions that have come through?
Thank you very much for all the questions that have come through. We really appreciate you interacting with us. And I'm trying to get some bumper stickers made and some laptop stickers. And if yours gets mentioned, you'll get one. But I tried to make some myself and they were bad. Then Rory ordered some and they were bad. So there's a delay.
Yeah,
but
we've
just
got
give
some
us some
made,
chance.
but the quality wasn't great. And we thought, we deal with lousy advice, but we don't deal with lousy quality. So
Yeah.
we've sent them back and we're getting some good ones made.
You're so right. That is our motto. Right, let's see who we land on. Ooh.
And who's going to be this week?
It's random in our contact list.
Okay, what are you going to do?
Okay.
You're going to have a scroll and see what it lands on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to put my board back. For listeners, I've got a wheel that I spin that says who we're going to speak to. Okay, let's scroll.
So Holly's now scrolling on her phone and she's going to find someone to call.
Should I call Liv?
Hey, babe.
Hi. I don't know if you're free, but can I ask you a quick question to be on the
You
podcast?
can ask me a question.
Thanks, babe. So, Rory, what's the question?
Hi, Liv. Good
This is
afternoon.
Liv. Sorry, podcast. This is Liv, who I was telling you about, my best friend who was in the room next door to me that we made finger sock puppets with at Freshers.
Oh, God, okay, yeah.
Liv,
I
she
was-
told some pretty embarrassing stories about you.
I was saying about how embarrassing we were at Freshers.
Yeah.
So Liv, some of our very kind listeners and viewers have sent through some questions and they really appreciate your answer and your advice. How do you know who your real friends are? You end up meeting around 50 people a day. How do you decide who to share your clothes with, who to avoid, and who you can fart in front of?
I think it's a case of experience. And I think, Holly, I don't want to name any names, but once you've weed yourself in front of them, I feel like that's how you know.
So,
Thank you for that.
sorry Liv, just for clarity, who was doing the weeing there?
Names.
I know you mean, is that Ella in the background?
Yeah.
You're such a dick. Yeah, okay, basically I had to walk home with some people that I didn't know once. I was desperate for a wee, but I didn't know how to say to them, like, can I go and wee in someone's front garden? So I just pissed and walked on this random person.
She came home with her wet cheeks.
You didn't mention that before.
What about pickpocketed the pickpocketer.
Oh my gosh.
Like vigilante
Only you're a true
justice.
one.
Yeah, this man stole Liv's phone. He like pickpocketed it off a table, and I was like, I think you've got my friend's phone. I didn't actually know it was him, but I just had a feeling. And he was like, no, I don't. I was like, yes, you do. And I went like that, and I grabbed his pocket and I pulled Liv's phone back
Did you?
out of his pocket.
That's pretty
Yeah.
impressive. I can't
Yeah,
imagine you
what's
doing
my
that
phone?
now.
Yeah.
She caught the thief live in action.
Wow.
Yeah. Then I got the bouncer and was like, get him out. Oh, me and Liv have got
You
so
were
many
all
good
action
stories.
stations back then.
Oh,
Then
God,
now you just
we've got
cry.
so many.
I think another piece of
If that
advice.
happened to me, you would not be attacking a
Yeah, I'd only do
pickpocket.
it for Liv.
Yeah.
We're gonna love you and leave you now.
Love you.
Love you.
Love
bye.
you.
Bye.
Love
Bye.
you. Bye. Should we answer a couple of these questions ourselves?
Yeah, let's go.
So they said they're heading to uni soon. Freshers events have just been announced. They hate parties and drinking and find them stressful. But their friends that they're going with from home to the same uni all love this vibe. Should I push myself to go even though I hate it? Or should I stick to what I know and meet some people who feel the same?
I think this is difficult. It depends whether you, because I would say at that point when I was in that freshers year or the start of second year, I was like, oh no, I don't like drinking. I don't like going out. I can't do any of it. But actually that wasn't my actual feeling. That was the anxiety talking. Like, because then when I actually did push myself to go out, 'cause my lovely Liv was like, come on, Holly, let's just go for an hour. And I did push myself to go. And when I was there, I was in like, I'm actually having such a good time. It's a bit like, I remember I was going to go to Iron Napa when I was 18. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Mum was like, give it a go. Got there. As soon as I landed, I called Mum and Dad. I was like, get me a flight back. I hate it. And then I remember my friends were like, just come out for this first night. You can always fly back tomorrow morning. I went along the strip. I got on this pole and was like dancing with my friends. And I was just like, oh my God, actually, I'm having a great time. And then I had a really good week. Basically, what I'm saying is if you are in the camp of like, it could just be the anxiety, I would try and go one day. And if you don't like it, then that isn't for you. But there'll be so many societies and things you can join to then meet people that are like you, or you'll probably meet people on your course. Or, yeah, I just think you got to give things a go once. If you don't like it, you don't like it. That's not a problem. But maybe you could, if it is that it's more the anxiety that's talking, then I would probably try and go and see what happens.
So this person said they're a second year at uni and they're organising the freshers
Yeah.
for their college. And they are thinking of introducing some fake rules for the freshers that are arriving, such as you can't poo on a Tuesday, whereby they say they're going to check their en-suites and they're only allowed to poo in the communal toilets.
Yeah.
So they would like some advice on any other things you think they could do.
The problem is with these fake rules is that I would take them so literally and I would be busting a gut on a Tuesday, not shitting, because I would
Yeah,
not be
you'd
going in the
so
communal
believe it,
one.
wouldn't you?
But I'd be like, I don't want them to come and check and me get in trouble. So I'm not good at these things. I'm not good at reading between the lines. Like if you tell me something's true, I'm like, yeah, fine, I'll do that, babe.
Okay, so what's your advice here? You're telling them don't do what you plan on doing.
Yeah, can you just not do that? Because I would just fall for it. I would fall for absolutely anything. I remember I honestly thought until I was about 15 that if you had your eyes crossed and the wind changed, they would say that way. Like it took me so long to unpack that a lot of phrases people say aren't actually true. So I think I'm the wrong person to ask about that.
Okay. I think we can probably wrap it up there. Thank you so much for sending in your questions. If you can send them through next week, we'll love it and we'll appreciate it.
And we'll love
enjoy
it. Yeah. Thank you. Goodbye. Final segment. Thank you if you're
Is
still here.
called What I Learned.
Okay, there was no flow there.
If I wanted to say it.
Okay, so
Final segment is called What I Learned.
do you want to go first?
No, I'll let you go.
Okay, first one, I think we're all going to know this because this is my key point. Dump that boyfriend. If you've got a poo boyfriend or girlfriend or partner, if they're not offering anything right now, and if you think, oh, but I'm not going to find any better, and they're not really supportive of you going or if you like trying these new things, like your life is going to be full of so many new things again and again and again. And if at just uni, they're already being a bit shitty about it, that's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. You want someone that's like, yeah, go fly the nest, go do this, go do that. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. So I think basically dump the partner, but also like be fluid with things because things can't always stay the same way that they have been as you are as a teenager. So yeah, that's my first piece of advice.
I think that's what I said earlier. You've just stolen my advice.
No, it was my advice.
I literally said that at
Yeah,
the
well, I'm
start.
saying it again, so shut up.
You can't take it as yours.
Yeah, I
Actually,
can.
although this section is called What I Learned, so fair enough, you've learned that from me. saying
Yeah,
it. Fair
exactly.
enough. Nice.
You'll go next.
I'd say don't judge people that you meet, like your flatmates, when you first meet them and think this person is like nothing like anyone I've spoken to at home or like I've met before, because they won't be. Like everyone's so different. One of the people that I'm like kind of still quite good friends with now, who was in my flat. Like when we first met, like I thought he was the biggest loser I'd met in my life.
Oh God.
And
He wouldn't drink his own piss. Or was that,
that. Anyway, took him under my wing, and then look, 12 years later, we're best mates.
Yeah.
And but like, if
You
you
and
said
him are like chalk and cheese.
you said to 18-year-old me you're going to be mates with him, I'd be like, absolutely no chance.
Yeah.
Like this, I turned up with my gelled hair and tight shirts, and he was there. Like he alternated the nights he went out on Freshers Week, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and you had your one pair of Calvin Kleins that you would scrub wash and put back on the next day.
Exactly.
Get them out.
So what I'm trying to say, this is actually a very sincere, nice bit of advice, is don't judge people. There's you'll find friendships in the most unlikely of places.
Yeah, I think that's true. Do you think if we met at uni, we would have gone out? Do you think we'd be together?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I would have wanted to. You would have said no.
I wouldn't have wanted to. I didn't want a girlfriend then.
But you definitely wouldn't have wanted me then making sock puppets either. And my final point is to get good friends with the bouncers. We learned this very early on, and it means you get to
dodge.
No, it means Liv was so good at this. We got to skip every queue for every night out. You get to walk up straight to the front like your big time, be like, hey, and get in. And that just meant that we had much nicer evenings because you spent all evening doing your hair and your makeup. You don't want to then queue for half an hour. So just get friends with the promoters or the bouncers and get yourself straight in.
Okay, well, I think there's some good bits of advice. I think we've learned a lot. Hopefully you've learned a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think we've really scratched the surface on Freshers. I think there's actually a lot more we can talk about.
Yeah.
So if anyone's got any follow-up questions, like get in the DMs, get in the WhatsApp, and we might be able to respond to them outside the episode or in a future episode.
And like you said, might be able to respond to them like a bit big time. But anyway, we're going to love you and leave you now. So before you go, hold fire. We're going to ask you to do some things. You're not going to want to do them, but we're going to ask you.
Come on, one thing. And
what?
then what's the one big thing we'd like
The one
to
big
do?
thing I would love for you to do, and I'm going to explain why, is if you could, well, two things. Can you follow the podcast on whatever platform you're on, and can you rate it 5 stars? I don't think I'm allowed to say that.
No, you can. Yeah, I think.
Can
yeah,
I?
Of course you can. You
Okay, can
definitely
you
say
just
that.
please? Because basically, at the minute, we're not making any cash. We're not making any cash, but we're also losing cash. We just want to have a celebration break-even party, you know?
Oh
That's
my God,
all
what
we
should we
want to
do
do.
when we break even?
When we break even, we're going to go balls to the wall. You're not going to believe it. We're going to have outfits. Rory's going to drink his piss for you. We're going to do whatever you want.
I'm not doing that.
Anyway, that's what we'd love. If you want to find us anywhere else, you can look in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening.
No, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I also really appreciate it.
But I've properly, Holly's when she says this, I can tell she doesn't actually
I
feel it in
do.
her heart as much as I do. Because I look
do.
For, we look for every comment and every single comment that comes through.
Yeah.
Really appreciate them.
I honestly really
So
do.
thank you very much for
Thank you very
listening,
much
watching.
for listening and watching, and we will see you next
And
week.
we'll see you next week. And
like we always say, don't take our word for it. You ruined it.
What was it?
Don't take our word for it.
Don't take our word for it. Thank you. That was better.
Woo.
Woo!
Yee!